Welcome to the Sales Influence Podcast, where we talk about finding the why in how people buy. I'm your host, Victor Antonio. Thank you for joining me again today. I appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying this podcast. Today, I'm dipping into, again, the email inbox. Got some great questions, but I'm going to cover one today. And this comes from Cesar Ivan Diaz, or for my Spanish brethren, Cesar Ivan Diaz. Anyway, he says, Hola, Victor. Well, he really says, hi, Victor. Anyway, he says, hi, Victor. Great information, as always. Now, he was listening to my podcast where I handle the pushback, let me think about it. And this is what you say. So if you haven't heard that podcast, it's a must. It's one of my most popular podcasts. It's titled, Let Me Think About It. But anyway, back to Cesar. He says, hi, Victor. Great information as always. I have a question. Suppose a former client for consulting services, parentheses, here it comes, we worked together in the past and was very satisfied with the services we provided for him, who says, I'm interested, I know I need this, but not right now, maybe sometime in the future. And you know that it's a legitimate and sincere answer. Since you know they have more urgent projects on hand, my question is, how can I stay in touch without being annoying or pushing? Blessings, Cesar Diaz, right? So let's kind of go through it again. Great information, thank you. Again, I have a question. Suppose a former client for consulting services, a former client we've done business with in the past, they've been very satisfied with the service, who says, I'm interested, I know I need this, but not right now, maybe sometime in the future. And you know it's a legitimate and sincere answer. And since you know they have more urgent projects on hand, my question is, how can I stay in touch without being annoying or pushy? And I get that. So let's walk through it, Cesar. For example, so this is somebody who you've provided services in the past, and they've been happy with you. In other words, this is a satisfied customer. And you've approached them with, let's say, a project, and they're not interested at this time. So, that's not a bad thing, Cesar. I mean, you go in there, you have a meeting with customers. This happens to me as well. And you know that they're interested, but it's just not the right time. Okay, and so, how often do you follow up? That's when you ask them, Cesar. I would say, when can we follow up? It should be a month, 3 months, 6 months. You give me an idea and let them tell you. This is important. Let them tell you because you'll learn something very important. See, if you say to them, well, why don't I just call you back in a month? And they just go, okay. Well, okay, now you're annoying and you're pushy. But if you say, I understand you have other projects going on. So when you say, let's get together in the future, let's discuss it. When you say future, what do you mean by that? Are we talking 3 months, 6 months, or are we talking a year? Now, when they tell you, it's going to be more like 3 months, then, again, what you say is fine. Then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and send you an email and confirm a date, and maybe in 3 months we can reconnect. And then what I would do, Cesar, is I would actually follow up with an email thanking them for their time, reminding them in that email that I'm going to get back to them in 3 months. Okay? Now, that's the simple way to handle it, right? That's kind of an easy layup, right? That's the ABCs of selling right there. Now, but I'm going to challenge you, Cesar. I'm going to challenge you now. I'm going to push you hard because, great. You have a satisfied customer. They say to you, I don't need this, not right now, maybe sometime in the future. I would say to you, did you qualify this client? In other words, when I say qualify, did you investigate? Did you ask the key qualifying questions up front to see if it was even worth spending any time with this customer in the first place? Because what you're coming across right here is they're not qualified. One is that they're not qualified. In other words, they really don't need the services, and you just wasted your time presenting services to somebody. Now, again, because it's an existing client, there's nothing wrong with touching base. But let's assume that it is a qualified customer. Let's say you did qualify them and you still got the answer, not right now, maybe in the future. What do? Well, again, we talked about following up. That's the easy route, but I'm going to push you again. One is I want you to make sure that you qualified this opportunity, that there really is business there. You can help them do the 3 things I always talk about: increase revenue, reduce costs, or expand market share. And let's say, Cesar, that you did that. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you did that. then I'm going to say to you, then the mistake was you didn't create enough urgency. Because you're right, they have other priorities. They have limited time and other priorities. And they're looking at your proposal saying, that's a good proposal, but it doesn't take higher priority than what we have in the pipeline already with other things we have to do. So my question to you is, Caesar, in that presentation, did you create enough urgency? Now, if you go to one of my other podcasts, I talk about there's 5 reasons people don't buy. No money, no time, no need, no urgency, no trust. Let me say it again. No money, no time, no need, no urgency, no trust. And remember the acronym I gave you, MOUNT NUT, MTNUT, MOUNT NUT. No money, no time, no need, no urgency, no trust. So let's assume that they have the money. Check. That's not the problem. They have the money. Now, when it comes to time, well, they may have other priorities. Do they have a need? Well, in your presentation, you probably presented something that said, we need this, but not right now. Then maybe, Caesar, where you failed is that you didn't create enough urgency. If you created enough urgency, they would make the time. Let me say that again. No money, no time, need, urgency, trust. But if you create enough urgency and you can show people how they'll save money, they'll always make the time. So my question to you is, did you quantify the value? Did you show them specifically how you can help them increase revenue? Did you show them how to reduce costs? Did you show them how your services can help them expand the market share? And when I say show them, did you put a number to it? In other words, you said, Mr. Customer, based on this, just this, we believe we can reduce your cost by 30%, which translates into $100,000 a month. And if we do this, this, and this, we know that we can increase your revenue by 20%, which puts that at about $50,000 a month in additional revenue for you. So that's $150,000, Mr. Customer. So let's run to the end. They say to you, I'm interested, I know I need this, but not right now, maybe sometime in the future. And again, you ask them, when you say the future, what are we talking about? 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, right? And they say to you, well, we're kind of looking at 6 months. And then you would say, if you've quantified the value, you would be able to say this, 6 months. Well, at 6 months, times $150,000, Mr. Customer, we're looking at about $900,000 in lost revenue opportunity. Do you have the luxury to wait 6 months to let almost $1 million go to waste? Do you see how that's much more powerful, Caesar? When you have a number that quantifies it. So when they say, let's get together in the future, you tie back to how much money you're going to save them or help them make, and then you quantify that number. Because if you do it the right way, they're going to say, wow, I never looked at it that way. So over the next 6 months, I'm going to miss out on $1 million of opportunity. Then they'll be able to compare it with other priorities in their brain and say, maybe we should look at this opportunity right now. So again, maybe part of it was that you did not create a sense of urgency. So to answer your question, yes, again, when they say in the future, you say 3, 6, a year, but you let them tell you, you don't suggest it, you let them tell you. But I still say that maybe part of the problem is that you didn't quantify the value. There is no urgency, so they're not going to make it a priority for now. And by the way, last but not least, remember there's money, time, need, urgency, trust. And I'm going to assume that they have your trust because you've done business with them in the past. So trust is not the issue. I believe that it was urgency. And the only way to really ramp up urgency is to actually quantify the value to make sure they understand how much money they're losing. So, Caesar, I hope that answers your question. That's it for this Sales Influence podcast. Don't forget to leave me some feedback on iTunes, Stitcher, or YouTube. Let me know what you think. I would really appreciate it. And again, some of the comments I'm getting are just fantastic. I'm trying to respond to some of your questions online as fast as I can, but they're coming fast and furious, and that's not a complaint. That's a good thing. Also, check out my sales training website, seminarsonselling.com, where you'll find great training videos for you or your team to help you grow your business. I just posted two new series Check it out. One's on prospecting. It's a good one. Lastly, I want to thank you for listening. This is Victor Antonio, always reminding you, selling ain't hard when you know how. Take care. Hi, I'm Victor Antonio. I'm an author, sales trainer, and keynote speaker. I'm often asked, what makes a great speaker? Is it someone who delivers real content that the audience can use? Is it someone who engages the audience so they're part of the learning experience? Or is it someone who can motivate an audience to push them beyond their comfort zone and discover new abilities? The answer is yes. But the most important thing to remember is that I'm not there to look good. I'm there to make my client look good. Simply put, it's never about me, and it's always about them.